This is it, guys. The Gordon Bennett race began in Turin last Saturday, when an amazing event it has been as well. 15 balloons from 6 countries, including the United States of America, departed from the Aeroclub Pomorski for the most challenging aviation battle of the year. The beginning of the race, with so many areas restricted around that part of Poland, was absolutely critical for tactics and decisions. And today, we already know who has won. Stay with us for more information from this outstanding contest, but also from other disciplines that are taking place all around the world right now. Air Sports News Season 8, Episode 2 is ready to go. I'm your host, REGAN TETLOW, and today we are in a very special place, the official live Gordon Bennett TV studio from Poland. Come on. Before we bring you the latest details from the gas balloon race, let's move on to France, where the best sailplane pilots have finished the competition in the World Championships in Montcolon. 95 pilots in 3 classes, open, standard and 15 meters, were competing in the tough conditions in the central region of France. After a difficult beginning of the competition with very low cloud base, finally pilots were able to complete 11 tasks in each class. Most of them were quite short, but some were really obliging the pilots to cover long distances of up to 480 kilometers, and not everyone made it. In club class, Hugh Wallach from Germany won the competition. Second place goes to Thies Bruins from the Netherlands, and third to German Stefan Langer. In standard class, the 2 first places go to German pilots Simon Stroder and Jans Omsels. Dennis Heibrechts took the bronze medal, and finally in the 15-meter class, again Sebastian Carver from Poland took the World Championship title, winning with second place Lukas Grabarski, also from Poland, and Matthew Scatter from Australia. What amazing places for this competition, and all 3 places were achieved by the Polish glider, the Diana II. Congratulations to all the pilots and constructors. Alright, so we have brand new fresh results from the already finished Parachuting Mondial in Tanay in Russia. Let's check them out one by one. Wingsuit pilots were flying through all 8 days of the contest and managed to do 2 rounds of performance and 2 rounds of acrobatic. Also, 2 remaining rounds of the artistic events were made and the competition was called. At the end of the day, all CF jumps were made and the competition also came to an end. In the free fly category, World Championship title goes to Norway, second place France and third USA. In the freestyle, bronze goes to the Russian Parachuting Federation, silver to the USA and gold to France. Also, France was the best in the parachuting formation 2-way sequential, winning with Qatar and another French team. In 4-way rotations, Qatar took the gold, Russia silver and Belarus take the bronze. On the final day of the competition, all rounds of wingsuit flying were complete in both the performance and aerobatic, just in time before it started to rain. In wingsuit performance, Chris Geller from the USA became a new world champion, beating Paul David Wajinski and teammate Alexei Glauder. The best wingsuit team is the USA before Russia and Poland. And in acro competition, Switzerland took gold, silver goes to Norway and bronze to Germany. Massive congratulations to all the athletes. Let's get back to the action here in Turin in Poland, where everything began a few days ago with the Gordon Bennett race. Pilots from Poland, Switzerland, Austria, Germany and France and the United States departed from the ground zero on the airfield and set off into the night sky in what has been the most unpredictable race I've ever seen. The officials held the departure for 1 day due to the conditions, giving the pilots more possibilities and trying not to push them towards the prohibited areas of Belarus, Ukraine and Kaliningrad. However, the forecast was a little bit different as the time progressed, and 3 teams climbed to a very high altitude and did a high-speed run to the Ukrainian border and landed right there. The rest of the teams decided to wait at a lower altitude, and Team Swiss 3, France 3 tried to fly into the gap between Kaliningrad, and Swiss 3 are the only second team ever to fly through that narrow gate in the history of the Gordon Bennett race. The rest of the teams found the winds heading west and took the opportunity to fly that way, including Poland 2, Swiss 1, France 1 and Germany 1, heading over Germany towards the Alps on the southern west direction. Throughout the rest of those following days, the flying team of Poland's Zapata Gdyński from Team Poland 2 had the biggest chance out in the front, heading towards the French border, but in the end, they had to land. As of Tuesday morning, only 3 teams still remained airborne. That was France 1, France 2 and Swiss 2. Who was the winner? Find out at the end of the show. As the teams finish the race, many of them make their way back here to the headquarters to hand in their tracking devices, and it gives us an opportunity to capture an interview with them. Our special guest this week has a distinction of being an athlete who I've commentated over 2 separate disciplines, canopy piloting and gas ballooning. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Wutzi Wagner. Are you still canopy piloting? Are you still competing?
Yeah, actually I started competing again this year, so I was competing at the Austrian Nationals.
And we've just had the Pink Open just before the TANE Championships, wasn't it? Was it about the week before?
Yes, exactly. A lot of canopy pilots used it as a training event, but it actually turned out that we had more competitors than actually had the possibility to go to Russia due to the COVID restrictions.
Yeah. Were you there for the Pink Open?
Yes, I was there. I was mainly organizing and also competing as well.
Cornelia, she's just almost getting that championship medal, and Eric, Frenchman, is taking it. Cedric Vega-Ross takes the championship again.
Yeah, he's a machine. He's a monster. And Cornelia, as always there, always ready. And I think she needs to gain a little kilos to be a bit bigger.
In gas ballooning, I mean, it's a very different sport than canopy piloting, of course.
Yes and no, in a way. So it's just like strategy-wise, what you do, weather-wise. It's more, I would say, it's like swooping, but in very, very slow motion.
Right.
So you basically have to do the same decisions at the same points, but it's over like a factor of 1,000 longer time.
Yeah.
You do it.
Yeah. How do you think it's going to end up this year with the championships? I mean, those teams that are heading to the west.
I guess who is gonna go where? I think it's gonna end up in Portugal with the 2 Swiss teams. If you ask me.
Interesting. That's interesting to find out. And the full-length interview with Wutzi is now available on our Air Sports Promotion YouTube channel. So quite often we're giving you fresh updates from the most popular drone racing series, the DRL and the DCL. Now we have something completely new. The MultiGP is a global professional drone racing league with hundreds of chapters internationally, including locations such as Australia, Asia, South Africa and Europe. Anyone with ambition and a little event experience and a passion for drone racing can start a MultiGP chapter. The organisation currently has over 30,000 registered pilots, in addition to 500 active chapters worldwide. MultiGP nurtures its chapters by providing tools, guidance and community support. Due to this structure, drone racing is fun, organised and rewarding for the pilots, the chapter organisers and spectators. Chris Thomas, founder of the MultiGP Drone Racing, explains a style of drone racing where teams of pilots compete in a 90-minute endurance race to see which team can fly the most laps on the course before the time expires. It's really worth a watch. We love to find videos across the internet related to some of our amazing air sports achievements, and this one is just perfect to see. Paragliding pilot Tim Alongi tells the story of the bivouac flight adventure through the Alps. Bivouac flying is a combination of paragliding and hiking, crossing a mountain range, a region, or even a country in autonomy, like a long hike path combined with the infinite possibilities of free flight. It's quite a challenging combination. Clement Crusini and Tim Alongi started at Lake Annecy for a 6-day adventure between heaven and earth above the beautiful places such as the Matterhorn, the Austrek Glacier and many others that we'll let you discover. The landscapes and views are just completely stunning. So now I'm mostly focusing on the gas balloon racing because of what's going on here in the Gordon Bennett Coupe Aeronautique. But to be honest, I do miss skydiving quite a little bit too, and from time to time I like to watch amazing content released by skydiving friends all around the world.
I'm ready.
So what's it like to wingsuit through buildings, or maybe chase planes with drones, or base jumping in a thunderstorm and crashing into the jungle? Well, this is a reality from Nickel Films channel. Together with his fellows, he visited Panama for a couple of days, exploring amazing places to jump and fly. What a great direction to go in. In the last episode of the 7th season of Air Sports News, we informed you about the Juritzin Slalom Cup in Poland. In the PL1 category, the winner there was Paweł Lojek-Reski, the guy who's also quite good and impressive in social media content. So just before the Paramotor Slalom Polish Championships, he trained with his friends using an FPV drone and sent us his video. Take a look. Last week, Lojek bought a DJI Iris FPV drone, and on Saturday he had an opportunity to try to follow the boys, Krzysztof Majestic and Flying Brothers team Lukas Sarinski and David Buggy, who tested new frame rates from the Liberty Paramotors. It's so impressive. And our last news comes from another planet. We haven't mentioned the Ingenuity helicopter researching the Mars surface for quite a while, and it's worth to get back onto the red planet and catch up with this little machine which is making another milestone in its mission. Helicopter Ingenuity has completed its 12th flight on Mars, doing scouting jobs for the Perseverance rover. The helicopter made a 5-meter sidestep to look around and create visual maps of the South Sikkim region. Ingenuity made 10 colour images that will help the Perseverance science team determine which of all the boulders, rocky outcrops and other geologic features in the South Settle may be worthy of a further scrutiny. The views are still absolutely unbelievable. Okay, now it's time to move on to our Hall of Fame section. On the 21st of August 1989, 45 years to the day after the first flight of the prototype Grumman Bearcat, Lyle Shelton flew his highly modified unlimited class racing plane, the Rare Bear, over a 3-kilometer course at Las Vegas, New Mexico, setting an FAI world speed record of 850 kilometers an hour and becoming the world's fastest piston engine airplane. On the 22nd of August 1922, Captain Stanley Cockrell, a test pilot for the Vickers Company, made the first flight of the prototype Type 56 Victoria Mark I at Brooklands, Surrey, England. The Victoria was a twin-engine biplane military transport developed from the earlier Vickers Vernon and Virginia. It was operated by a crew of 2 in an open cockpit and could carry up to 22 troops. On the 23rd of August 1938, Frank Monroe Hawks had given up air racing and speed record attempts. As vice president of the Gwyn Aircar Company Incorporated, he was demonstrating the company's Model 1 prototypes to the potential investors and customers. The aircar had been described as a stubby or squat, and in other words, perhaps less complimentary. A noteworthy contemporary aeronautical publication said that the Gwyn Aircar resembled a Jersey cow in appearance. Well, let's judge for yourselves. Also on the 23rd of August 1937, the first completely automatic landing of an airplane took place at Wright Field near Dayton, Ohio. With Captain George Vernon Holloman in the cockpit and Captain Carl Joseph Crane and Mr. Raymond K. Stout in the cabin, a Fokker Y1C-14B automatically intercepted a series of 4 radio beacons, initiated a descent and then landed at the airfield and braked to a stop, all without any input from a pilot. So that's it, the race comes to an end. As you can see, Swiss 2 beat French 2, passed them by about 3 kilometers. We'll put all the results and details on screen, but it was 4 nights of flight, and that's done. We have a winners of the 64th Coupe Aeronautique Gordon Bennett, and it is Swiss 2. So now we know the winner of the 64th Coupe Aeronautique Gordon Bennett, and what a race it has been. The official ceremony will take place this Saturday here in Turin. Now we're waiting for all the teams to visit us again and to get on with the prize giving and the, of course, giving of the trophy. Thanks for joining us all this week, and you can check out all the up-to-date information on the Gordon Bennett fan pages. So remember, stay safe and keep your eyes on the skies.
And I think about the future and I get anxious of all the things that I can't be sure of, that I can't control it, every little thing between. If I lost you, I'd lose everything. the city streets. There are those I meet on a journey to be someone, to be spoken of, wrote down in history.